6:45, our top stories in our Smart Star for Friday. President Trump will end his first week back at the White House with a trip going multiple states to communities recovering from disasters in North Carolina and Southern California.
While he is away, the Senate continues its debate on his pick to be the next Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth. A final Senate vote may come as soon as today on this former Fox News host's nomination. Hegseth cleared yesterday's procedural vote in the Senate despite some heavy opposition from all of the Democrats and two Republicans, Maine's Susan Collins and Alaska's Lisa Murkowski. Meanwhile, CBS News has obtained internal documentation showing the Trump administration is in the process of shutting down immigration offices that were set up by the Biden administration in multiple Latin American countries, while the Department of Homeland Security is authorizing other federal law enforcement agencies like the DEA and ATF to assist in immigration enforcement efforts.
They have deployed active duty U.S. military and National Guard troops to the border to assist in repelling the invasion.
However, there is a blow to the new president's controversial plan after a federal judge temporarily blocked the president's order ending birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented migrants and temporary visa holders. The president says he does plan to appeal.
Here in Rochester, a Venezuelan refugee is sharing her fears and disappointment over the president's decision to pause the refugee resettlement program.
This woman says her family was persecuted and labels as political activists in her home country.
On top of that, two more of her relatives were going to be coming here in the next couple of weeks, but those plans are now canceled. Iran Spitzer has that story. Iran.
Yeah, guys, with the help of an interpreter, Jurania Loaiza says she came to the United States after fleeing Venezuela and seeking refuge in Colombia in 2018. She says the impact and experience of being taken by the military counterintelligence agency in Venezuela is isolating and practically feels like a death sentence. She says it's been a long journey, but she finally made her way to the U.S. in May of 2023. She dedicates her days to getting her sister and nephew here as well. The two were finally at the stage in the refugee resettlement program where they were preparing to leave Peru, but the recent suspension delayed those plans. The Secretary of Homeland Security now has 90 days to make a decision on how to proceed, and Jurania fears the worst.
Quiero aclarar algo. Esto no es migración.
I want to make something clear. This isn't immigration. This is a refugee program. This is a program for refugees. And for one to be a refugee, it is because there is a need.
Presidente, no lo cuestiono.
President, I do not question you. I plead to you. Don't suspend the program.
Angie Matisse works directly with Refugees World Relief, an organization with a mission to help refugees in the process of fleeing their country. She says she was shocked over the executive order, but remains committed to providing aid.
The only thing we want from President Donald Trump is to stand with the people that voted for him, and also stand with his own speech. He said, we want to bring legal immigrants, and we want to stand with persecuted Christians. And closing this refugee resettlement program goes against those wars.
In Monday's executive order, President Trump referenced record levels of immigration that he says has compromised resources, safety, and security for Americans. Guys.
All right, thank you very much, Iran. The bishop who made an appeal to President Trump during the National Cathedral service earlier this week has some ties to Rochester. Bishop Marianne Edgar Buddy graduated from the U of R in 1982. She's the spiritual leader of 86 Episcopal congregations and 10 schools in the Washington, D.C. and Maryland area. She's long been an advocate for immigration reform, racial equity, and the LGBTQ+ community. During this inaugural service, she said a majority of immigrants and their families are good neighbors.
The people who pick our crops and clean our office buildings, who labor in poultry farms and meatpacking plants, who wash the dishes after we eat in restaurants and work the night shifts in hospitals, they may not be citizens or have the proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals.
President Trump, meanwhile, took to social media criticizing the sermon, calling Bishop Buddy, quote, a radical left hardline Trump hater, and he told reporters he didn't think it was a good service.
Happening this morning, the teacher from Roth Junior High accused of sexually assaulting a child is set to be appearing before a judge for a rearraignment. 52-year-old Scott Stradley from Pittsford faces charges of predatory sex assault against a child. Stradley, who taught in the Rush Henrietta School District, was arrested December 13th and then put on administrative leave. Deputies say the victim was known to him, but they found no evidence suggesting the claims involve any students in the district. The judge at the last arraignment set bail at $50,000 cash. Stradley is due in court at 10 o'clock.
A Rochester teen has been arrested after police say he attacked a family member with a sword. Just after 2 yesterday afternoon, officers say they got a call about family trouble at a home on Clifford Avenue. And when they got there, police found a 29-year-old man with cuts to his head and face. Investigators say that man had been arguing with a 17-year-old who then used a sword to cut him multiple times. The teen was taken into custody and the victim taken to the hospital, luckily expected to recover.
The driver of a deadly motorcycle crash in Newark last year faces several charges, including manslaughter, 3 months after the accident. 37-year-old Justin Kroc turned himself in yesterday with his attorney with him. Investigators say Kroc and 36-year-old Kelly Smith Kroc were on the motorcycle when they rode up onto the sidewalk on West Union Street. This was in early November. As they tried to get back onto the legal street road, police say Justin lost control and Kelly was thrown off the bike. She died at the hospital. The investigation determined the suspect was driving while under the influence of drugs. Police say because of that, he's facing charges for manslaughter, vehicular manslaughter, DWAI, reckless driving, and several other traffic violations.
We are hearing more from a Rochester City School District teacher about the governor's proposed phone ban in schools. Jason Valenti has watched students interact with this technology over the last 20 years. And while he does agree with the statewide approach, he says he doesn't want to see individual teachers forced to be the ones policing the phones in the classrooms. But he does add that a ban may be a positive change for student activity.
Many of the children come in here with a device that is able to be used, but it doesn't have Wi-Fi. It doesn't have internet access. So what I'm hearing about the real problem is that at the upper grades, we're having students that coordinate events amongst themselves during the school day that create chaotic and unsafe situations.
If passed, the measure would take effect across New York State next school year. We have reached out to RCSD for an official comment, and we haven't heard back yet.
Let's go inside the Buffalo Huddle, the Super Bowl. Just one win away for the Bills. Kansas City again? That's who's standing in their way. Both teams have a lot of strengths coming into the matchup, but for the Bills, it might be a special bond of one position group that can give them the edge. In the first 2 weeks of the playoffs, the Bills took on two of the best run defenses in the NFL, but during those games, the Bills ran for more yards than both the Broncos Wild Card Weekend and the Ravens last Sunday that either had allowed all season long. The dominant game on the ground starts with a strong offensive line, not just physically, but one that Connor McGovern says he's closest with that he's played with throughout his career, a bond that keeps motivating Buffalo all throughout the season.
I still remember one of the first quarterback sneaks we had where I ended up on the ground, then Ty and Josh did the dap up over me and Josh patted my head. From there on, we're just like, all right, we can force our will on just about anyone.
Having those guys pretty much all season long working hip to hip, side by side all year has been tremendous for our offense and for our team. And I just can't say enough about their brotherhood, their camaraderie, if you will. I think that just it fosters into the rest of our team.
We were close last year, but this offseason we all were constantly hanging out with each other, just always around each other, and I think that just drew us even closer.
I think it's one of the reasons that we've had success is we got guys that really care about each other and love each other, and I think it's real and genuine.
It's going to be fun. Be here soon. You can only see Sunday night's showdown between Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, all of them, right here on News 8, kicking off at 6:30. And when it's done, we will talk about it. Is Buffalo going to New Orleans, or is it more heartbreak? A full hour of Buffalo postgame live coming up around 10 o'clock whenever the game ends. Sunrise traffic before we go and get that weekend forecast. One new accident just reported the last 5 minutes in Greece at Westridge Road and Stone Road. East side looking good, just 104, just a little slow there, passing through Webster and James. We've had just a little bit of snow here and there this morning.
Just a touch.
Yeah, in Webster, along Lake Ontario, North Greece, Braddock's Bay, those areas are getting some good lake effect snow this morning. That does extend over into Hilton as well. So that's where the focus is for now, but I do think most of us do get snow showers through this morning, so be careful on that morning commute. Unless you're in the Finger Lakes, you're good. Dry tomorrow, mostly cloudy. We see a little bit of a burst in temperatures in the mid to upper 20s, and then a shot of cold air coming in on Sunday briefly, but a little bit of snow in the morning time frame. Otherwise, we wait. Tuesday, Wednesday, kind of our next day, we're watching for maybe area-wide snow, but no frigid overnight lows, which is nice to see.
Just like that, be February. How about that?
Right around the corner. Here we go.
Yeah, it came up so quickly. How many of us are still on our resolutions?
Working on
Kinda. How about that? Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Go Bills.
Have a great day. Have a great weekend.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather.